Hello and welcome back to another video. Today going to be taking an in-depth look at 9 new Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown images that have recently been shown. I did cover 8 of them briefly in the video about this month's newsletter as a whole, so do go and check that one out if you want some more information about the game as a whole. Today though, I'm going to see if we can take a closer look and find anything hidden in these 9 new screenshots. Thanks to Stig for helping us spot some of these hidden details that I wouldn't necessarily have picked up on myself. Firstly, let's take a look at the image that they used as the header for the latest newsletter, which shows this view of Hong Kong Island's skyline across the bay from the mainland. This does look incredible and actually pretty accurate when compared to the real skyline of the city. A few buildings have been changed where they potentially haven't been able to license them, but some of the most iconic shapes and things are still there to give it an authentic look. Potentially, I think this could be the first view we'll see when we start the game. How cool would it be if you arrived by boat here to begin your playthrough? That would be pretty incredible. And this third thing I've spotted might be a bit of a stretch, but down here, there's a boat that's kind of slightly similar to the yacht from TDU2. So, could this be a house, or is that a bit of a stretch? What do you guys think? Would be incredibly cool if it was, but I think maybe it's a little too far out from the shore to be that, and houses and things haven't been confirmed, so it's probably unlikely, but it's cool to see a little boat down here anyway, and we can hope, right? Some of the quality isn't perfect, I know, on the buildings. This image is the one where it's kind of most noticeable out of all of the images we're going to look at today. But remember, there are several months to go till this game releases. It will probably be towards the end of this year, so there's plenty of time for them to improve how the finished game will be, basically. The first image shown within the newsletter itself after the header image was this one of the river with this really stunningly modelled and beautiful looking little building here with the illuminated lanterns and everything. It looks incredible. You may also have spotted there's an Audi Q7 down here, which of course was in Test Drive Unlimited 2, so it's great to see some of the icons from that game return, even if they're not necessarily cars that I particularly like, but a big V12 Audi is still pretty cool, and this is a newly confirmed car as of this newsletter. And I do love that they're including some of the cars that we all remember from the previous title, as long as we get a selection of newer stuff too, which so far they seem to be showing us that we are. And I'm not the only one to pick this up. A lot of people have spotted this already, I think, but there is an indicator illuminated on the back of the car, so that kind of, to me, says that the indicators will be coming back as car functionality. They've already kind of confirmed convertible tops and windscreen wipers and things like that, so I can't see why they wouldn't be. And yeah, it's great to see that in this image. So hopefully lots of new functionality elements will be put in the game, as well as the ones that we know and love from previous test drive titles. The second image that was inside the newsletter showed us this Ford Raptor doing some exploring on this narrow dirt trail with a stunning view out across the sea. In this one and the previous one, I'm actually really impressed with the quality of the plants. Yeah, they drop a bit if you zoom in, but these ferns in particular down here look absolutely incredible, and some of the leaves on the trees up here look pretty good, especially given the distance away some of this is. So it's looking like it's going to be a stunning looking game once we get it. There is also some kind of building or boat possibly down here, because it's kind of in the water. Not sure what that is, but yeah, there's a little something hidden down there. This road, I think, is one of the ones they've made up. So basically, they've used some of the footpaths and hiking trails to increase the number of roads. For those who don't know, it's going to be at least 3 times the size of Forza Horizon 4's map, to give you some idea of the scale of it in terms of road network, I mean. So, yeah, they've made up some of the roads with these kind of cool trails, which are going to be great fun for off-roading in things like this Raptor. This next shot, of course, shows us the Ford GT40, but there appear to be some other things hidden in this one too. So this building in the background is, of course, here in reality, but they've changed the purpose of it somewhat, it seems. If we zoom in here on this ground floor, there appear to be at least 2 red cars. So the first thing that comes to mind is, well, obviously, dealership. Thanks to Stig, by the way, for pointing these out to me. But with them being red, that makes me think this might be the Ferrari dealership. I don't think anyone's actually picked up on this in a video yet, but there's definitely some cars in there, and they're definitely red, so it's definitely a dealership. I'm pretty sure, but this could well be the Ferrari dealership, which is rather odd because there is a Ferrari dealership on Hong Kong Island, although there could well be two of them, like we saw in previous games. Dealerships were, of course, confirmed in the previous Solar Club letter, and we know Ferrari have their own dealership in this game, at least one, although maybe not more, because I think there's only a limited number of them. But anyway, putting it in this location would kind of make sense. Ferrari, I can imagine, insisting that their dealership goes in a central and prominent place, so maybe they would put it here rather than in its real location that isn't in the middle of the kind of main city. So it could well be that, especially with the amount of red on this lower part of the building, not just the cars. This kind of whole section is red themed. We can see red furniture and stuff in here. So I think it could well be a Ferrari dealership, because this bit basically isn't like this in reality. It's certainly not these colours. So that would be incredible. I kind of like that Test Drive have put a Ford GT40 in it, though, because I feel like maybe what happens, I don't know, this is pure speculation here and I'm going a bit off topic, but I feel like Ferrari said, we want our dealership in a prominent place. So Test Drive, as a bit of a joke, have put a Ford GT40 in here that, of course, beat Ferrari. So I'm going to refer to this image as Ford versus Ferrari from now on. I really hope that if I am correct about that, that it's the Ferrari that the GT40 beat is one of these cars in here. That would be a fun little kind of Easter egg or joke from Test Drive Unlimited. I really hope they did that. But anyway, yeah, I've gone a bit off on a tangent here, but there are definitely some cars in here, so I'm pretty confident it's a dealership, and my best guess is that it would be a Ferrari one, given how much red is here and the location. Of course, this isn't confirmed as being that, that's just what comes to my mind seeing it, and then I've kind of got a bit carried away with many possibilities of what it could be. But do feel free to let me know what you think in the comments as we move on to the next image. So, after spending probably a little bit too much time getting carried away on the previous image, this fifth one doesn't actually show too much, but it does still look like a stunning location to visit. There is a path up here that goes to this small building at the top of here, and there's also a nice kind of switchback road here, which looks pretty fun. And again, the details on the plants are lost a bit if I zoom in there, but from here, all the textures and detail, I have to say, is looking... well, it's shaping up to being a very good-looking game from what I've seen so far. This next one is actually probably my favourite image from within the newsletter, showing this Audi R8 in the fuel station. The car appears to have aftermarket wheels, as far as I can tell. I could be wrong about this, but it definitely has a wing delete as well at the rear. So I feel like this is possibly hinting at some visual customization, which I don't think they really confirmed or denied before. They kind of mentioned modifications, but I don't think the extent of what we could do visually was really gone into. So if we can delete wings and change wheels, that would be kind of cool. Again, none of this is confirmed. This is just something I'm guessing at from looking at the image. Just behind the car, you'll notice there's these boxes. There's one the other side too, which I'm guessing is going to be where you have to drive through to get your car repaired, which is a feature that was revealed in the latest newsletter that went with these images, that if we damage our car driving or racing or whatever, we can go through a fuel station to repair it to its shiniest best, as they put it. Thanks again to Stig for finding this bit, but on this placeholder image, there appears to be an Alfa Romeo 4C. Now, it is just a placeholder image, so this could well be nothing. It might not mean anything at all, so take it with a pinch of salt, but there is an Alfa Romeo 4C on here, and to me it would kind of make more sense to use a car that was in the game for these, but we never actually know. In Forza Horizon 5, for example, they showed some Lancias in footage before the game released, and then of course they never came to the game, so with ongoing issues with Alfa Romeo in that game, it could well be that they're not in this game. But at the moment, there's one in the placeholder image, so again, we can only hope that will be included in the game. There is also another car hidden in this poster, which I think is the back of a McLaren? What do you guys think it might be? I think that might be the back of a 720S, which if it is, that car's already been shown and confirmed anyway, so this doesn't really tell us very much. But yeah, it's a very, very blurry image, so again, take any of this sort of stuff with a pinch of salt. None of this is really confirmed. On the other pillar, there are some other posters. There's this one that says escape, and the one above that says spend as much as your ambition, which appears to show a very expensive looking apartment. So again, does that mean houses maybe? They've been hinted at before, but again, none of this is confirmed. But spend as much as your ambition, and this is probably the name of an estate agent, I imagine. But again, this is all just speculation. It is just a random poster on a pillar that probably won't be in the final game, so it might just be a placeholder image like the other ones, but it does look very much like an apartment, so it could be that. Again, there's a car in the bottom corner here, which is almost impossible to make out. The shape of the grille here makes me think it's some kind of Audi, so it could be the Q7 again, or maybe an Audi estate. It's kind of that sort of shape. But again, this is just pixels, so yeah, don't take any of this very seriously. It's just kind of from this distance. That looks like it could be that. But anyway, do let me know what you think. Again, none of this is confirmed, but let me know what you think that could be, if you have any other ideas. This image has quite a lot in it, because that's not all. There's also what says parking lane here. That kind of looks like it's... Well, it kind of looks like it's kind of UI stuff like this, rather than an actual sign that's there. So maybe that's where you park to go shopping, because there are a number of shops here that look like they have interiors that we could potentially go into. There's whatever that says, RNB, I think. Just some kind of shop. Anyway, there's shops all along here, so potentially that's where we stop to do shopping. Who knows? Again, like I say, everything here is just me kind of speculating on what I can see and throwing ideas out there. So do let me know what you think. Like I say, I'm just throwing ideas out there of what comes to mind. So let me know what you think, or if you disagree with anything I've said in the comments. Anyway, again, we've spent far too long on this image, so let's move on to the next one. So yes, finally, after having a lot to look at in that image, we move on to the next and final image from the newsletter itself, showing this off-roadified Beetle. Now, I don't know if these are mods that we can do to it, or whether it's a pre-built machine that we can buy or find, but given the R8 also appeared to be modified, I think, well, I hope at least, that we get a stock Beetle. For those who don't remember or didn't play TDU2, this generation of Beetle, or this kind of age of Beetle, it's a slightly more modern one, you can tell by the lights, but it was a wreck vehicle that we had to go and find, which they also confirmed in this newsletter. So maybe we find it as a stock Beetle again like we did in that game, and when we can go to the shop to change these tyres and put these kind of steps and bull bars and things on, how cool would that be? It also appears to have raised suspension. So yeah, I just hope they're mods and it's not pre-built, but either way, this looks like a super fun thing to drive, even if we get given it like this. And, well, if we look in the background, there appears to be some huge jumps as well here. So I don't know if this is some kind of, like, off-roading course. It looks like tarmac, but some kind of fun racetrack stunt course, or if these are just bridges on a road. But either way, this Beetle here looks great fun for going through these sort of lower, what looks to me like would be a swampy area, as well as over some of these jumps and things, which this suspension would obviously deal with quite well. But yeah, I just hope these are mods we can do to kind of personalize our car, but even if this is a pre-built thing we get given, it looks pretty fun. And that's all for the screenshots in the newsletter itself, but there are a couple of more to look at, starting with this one that Stig found for me over on Reddit, so thank you very much to him for sending that over for us to have a look at. It's another shot of a different part of the city, which is interesting to see, but as far as I can tell, there's nothing more really hidden in this one. There's some kind of street art and stuff, and, well, I'm guessing we can't go into this area, it's kind of barriered off, but yeah, it kind of shows a different look of a different part of the city. And finally, last but most definitely not least, another petrol station shot, which again I absolutely love. I just love the lighting and the kind of vibe of these two pictures. This one I actually found a few days after the newsletter. It was posted on the developer's Twitter page subsequently. So yeah, this is a more recent screenshot, but again, very similar to the other one that we saw. And it of course shows the SLK55, which we previously saw and had confirmed in the first newsletter in March, and is another kind of icon from Test Drive Unlimited 2. That one, though, looked like it was a kind of concept art image almost, whereas here it's fully modelled with, again, what looks to be illuminated indicators like on the Audi, and some pretty incredible looking reflections from all the lighting up here. There's not quite as much hidden in this one as the other petrol station image. All of the posters on here are repeats of what we saw before. So we've got the Alfa Romeo one there, and the one that's potentially a McLaren, but we don't know on that one. And then again, we've got the same two on this pillar, so there's nothing really of interest there. There aren't the two boxes to stop in for the petrol station here, so I kind of feel like this is more what it'll look like in photo mode, and the other one's maybe how it looks outside of photo mode, but I don't know. It is great to see the SLK outside of the dealership though, and this again is one of my favourite images, which is a great one to finish on, I think. And that is going to do it for an in-depth look at these 9 new screenshots. Hopefully you all found something you had missed when looking at them yourself in this video. But if not a problem, let me know what you think of them. Do as ever, let me know what you think of the information on this upcoming title. I know I've got a bit carried away with speculating on things that are quite unlikely in this video, so take some of it with a pinch of salt, but yeah, these images have got me super excited for the release of this game. For today's video, though, that is going to be all, so do let me know what you think, as I say, but thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next video very soon.